Thank you for joining us today. Prior to starting, we ask you to keep your microphones muted until after the three voices have spoken. This will ensure we minimize distractions and unnecessary background noise. Our faculty advisor, Dr. Dean Chang, will lead us in the invocation.
Today, we offer gratitude for the privilege of leadership in worthy undertakings and for the ideals of Omicron Delta Kappa. Give to all who are assembled here to confer the honors of initiation upon these duly elected members a renewed vision of the meaning of Omicron Delta Kappa. Grant that the desire for creative thinking, for healthy living, for high purposes and ideals, for moral strength and kindness may ever remain close to our hearts. Grant also that we may strive without ceasing to incorporate them into our lives as students, faculty, alumni, and civic leaders. Instill in us the principles of faith and courage, of honest work, of empathy for others, and of sacrifice for the difficult tasks that lie before us.
My name is David Rachman, and as president of the Sigma Circle of Omicron Delta Kappa, I welcome you to this ceremony held on your behalf. We who are members of Omicron Delta Kappa have observed your habits, attitudes, and capacities and are pleased with your success, at your steady growth as leaders in worthwhile endeavors, and at your appreciation of the ideals and purposes of this society. We have asked you here today to make you members of our society and to present to each of you the Laurel Crown Circle, the symbol of achievement. Before we accept you into the Omicron Delta Kappa Society, please listen thoughtfully to these words.
You should know that the Laurel Crown Circle is not only a recognition of past exemplary conduct, but that it must also be to you a constant inspiration to finer and nobler living, so long as you shall live.
You should know that the Laurel Crown Circle is not only a recognition of past loyalty to all good works, but that it must also be to you a constant inspiration to unselfish service to the society, to the University of Maryland, and to your vocation, and a lifelong reminder that if greatness is to be achieved, one must serve.
You should know that the Laurel Crown Circle is not just a recognition of past achievement, but that it must also be to you a constant inspiration to spend the rest of your days climbing higher and yet higher, ever remembering that death comes apace and that the longest span of human life is all too short for the completion of the tasks that lie ready to our hands.
You have heard in these words the great unchanging principles on which our society is founded. If you are willing to accept the lofty ideals, the sense of devotion, and the spirit of aspiration represented in Omicron Delta Kappa, please unmute and respond, "We are."
We are.
Please mute your microphones at this time. Then, please raise your right hand and listen to these words. In the presence of the circle here assembled, I solemnly promise to uphold the ideals and traditions, the Constitution and bylaws of the Omicron Delta Kappa Society, and to support in loyal service its local and national officers, and to hold in confidence any and all the proceedings of the society which it shall deem advisable. If you agree to uphold these ideals and traditions, please unmute your microphones and say, "I do."
I do.
Please mute your microphones at this time. You have undertaken upon yourselves the obligation of membership in the Omicron Delta Kappa Society. This means that you will ever seek to make it a real factor for good in academic and community life, not only at the University of Maryland, but in American educational institutions at large, though you will make every effort to practice its high ideals, both in private and public life, so that the world may see in you a concrete, living symbol of the great principles of Omicron Delta Kappa. Omicron Delta Kappa was founded on December 3rd, 1914 at Washington and Lee University in Lexington, Virginia. Our 15 founders stated that leadership of exceptional quality and versatility in college should be recognized, that representatives of all phases of college life should cooperate in worthwhile endeavor, and that outstanding students and faculty members should meet on a basis of common interest, understanding, and helpfulness. The motives which guided the founders sprang from the desire to bring together in one body for the general good of the institution leaders from all parts of the university community. The success of the ODK idea, an essential part of which is its joint student-faculty character and recognition, led to the establishment of chapters, which we call circles at other colleges. The Sigma Circle of Omicron Delta Kappa at the University of Maryland was founded on February 2nd, 1927. The circle has now grown to an active membership of over 100 members and an alumni base of over 4,000. ODK members are very active, with the construction of the ODK Fountain of the Mall, which you can see behind me, as one of our major accomplishments. It was built to create a lasting monument to leadership and to those who have contributed so much to the campus. Sigma Circle also awards several scholarships to current members and to students at the university. Other endeavors of the circle include sponsoring the annual awards banquet, selecting the top 10 freshman and sophomore leader of the year, and organizing a campus speaker series. It has ever been our desire and custom to try to symbolize in material form our dreams, ambitions, ideals, and sentiments. In accordance with this innate desire and feeling, Omicron Delta Kappa also has tried to express in material form the key, its noble ideals, lofty aspirations, and altruistic aims. This key, struck off in the form of a circle, symbolizes union forever and the equality which characterizes membership in Omicron Delta Kappa. The Greek motto for which the ODK stands is Hodaphnos Komos Kuklos, which translates as the Laurel Crown Circle. Our emblem, the Laurel Crown Circle, stands for success achieved in worthy undertaking. The shape of the key represents the circle, which symbolizes the all-around and inclusive nature of our organization. The 5 stars on the upper bar represent the 5 major phases of college life, which our society stands: scholarship, athletics, campus and community service, social and religious activities and campus government, journalism, speech, and the mass media, creative and performing arts. The number 1914 on the lower bar indicates the year in which our society was founded. You have been chosen to wear this emblem of distinction because of your loyalty and devotion to the University of Maryland and to the things that are fine and true in life.
Good afternoon. We are pleased to announce our undergraduate inductees.
Jacqueline Blair.
Jacqueline is a senior kinesiology and psychology double major from Ellicott City, Maryland. This executive director of Terpthon has been a weight fitness staff member with Reckwell, served as a TA for kinesiology and physiology, and worked as a research assistant for the Comprehensive Assessment and Intervention Program. Jacqueline has been a member of Terpthon leadership for 3 years prior to her term as director and a peer mentor in university honors.
Noah Broth.
Noah is a senior finance and information systems major from Baltimore, Maryland. He is the education mentor for the Tamid Group, the president of Rock Shalom a cappella group, and a TA for business finance. He is active in Maryland Hillel and Kedma. Previously, he has been a scholars ambassador, head of the Rock Shalom tour committee, and a mentor with Smith Peers.
Deborah Brown.
Deborah is a junior supply chain management and operations management and business analytics double major from Houston, Texas. This TA for Business and Management is an active member of the Mortarboard Honor Society, Internal Education Chair of Terps for Israel, Senior Copy Editor for Mitzpeh, and President of the Avra Israeli Dance Company. She was a member of the Justice and Legal Thought Scholars Program, a Smith Start peer mentor, and a target language facilitator for the Language House Hebrew Cluster.
Abraham Brown.
Abraham is a junior operations management in business analytics and global innovation and sustainability double major from Port Washington, New York. He is a peer academic leader for University Honors, vice president of membership and recruitment for the Tamid Group, vice president of fundraising and finance for Alpha Epsilon Pi, and a founding board member of One for the World. He was a member of the FIRE program, a recipient of the Bright Future Scholarship, and a TA for University Honors.
Calvin Burns.
Calvin is a junior civil and environmental engineering major from Bethesda, Maryland. This resident assistant was the director of service for the National Residence Hall Honorary, vice chair of the Sustainability Fund Review Board, a vice president of sustainability for the Residence Hall Association, and the undergraduate representative on the Engineering Senate Faculty Advisory Board. He's a member of the Energy, Technology, and the Environment Scholars Program and the engineering representative for the University Senate.
Dakaya Bynum.
Dakaya is a senior international business and French studies double major from Glendale, Maryland. As president of the Caribbean Students Association and Rhythm Riders Dance Troupe, Dakaya initiated a tutoring service for PG County students. She is a student honor council member for the University Student Judiciary and a resident assistant at the Courtyards, and the co-founder of the Divine Divas Motivational Modeling Group.
Ria Chowdhury.
Ria is a senior government and politics and studio arts double major from Irvine, California. This federal fellow student is an associate justice for SGA, a TA for government and politics, a film producer for Maryland Filmmakers Club, and a member of the UMD Student Art League. Ria was the Civicus president and ambassador, the programming director of Leadership Networking Night, the vice president of diversity and inclusion for RHA's North Hill Area Council, and a press intern for the office of Congressman Eric Swalwell.
Lauren Joe.
Lauren is a senior chemical and biomolecular engineering and chemistry double major from Ellicott City, Maryland. Lauren is the president of the American Chemical Society, a member of the UMD American Institute of Chemical Engineers, and a member of the CMNS Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Council. This Gemstone Honor student is also a teaching fellow, guided study sessions leader, and teaching assistant.
Adam Deutsch.
Adam is a senior civil engineering major from Olney, Maryland. Adam is a service project team leader for the Research Instruction in Service and Engineering Leadership Academy, the operations chair for Terpthon, a member of the Chi Epsilon National Civil Engineering Honor Society, a scene shop builder and handyman for the Clarice Construction Shop, and a member of the American Society for Civil Engineers. Adam is involved in fundraising for blood cancer research for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Kyle Damian.
Kyle is a senior kinesiology major from Adamstown, Maryland. Kyle is the executive chair for the Maryland Higher Education Commission Student Advisory Council, the Traditions Keeper Chair and Diversity and Inclusion Campus Programming Representative for the Student Alumni Leadership Council, and a teaching assistant for the Kinesiology Department. This Frederick Douglass Scholar is an editor for the Illuminate Undergraduate Research Journal, a member of the OMSE Academic Excellence Society, a representative for the SGA Title IX Committee, and a triathlete for Maryland Triathlon.
Sarah Dresch.
Sarah is a junior government and politics major from Pittman, New Jersey. Sarah serves on the executive board of RHA, has participated in Civicus and Homeland and National Security Federal Fellows programs, and has worked as a legislative intern in Congress and policy intern for a governmental affairs consulting firm. She was a member of the National Residence Hall Honorary and is the chair of the Dining Services Advisory Board in RHA.
Laura Exar.
Laura is a senior environmental science and policy major from Asheville, North Carolina. This Federal Fellows TA and Alternative Breaks leader has served as an undergraduate researcher, an aide for the Maryland Sea Grant Program, president of Alpha Phi Omega, AGNR ambassador, and an intern at the U.S. Department of Energy Chesapeake Bay Program Office and Pleasant Hill Produce. She's involved with Gamma Theta Upsilon, Maryland Mentor Corps, and volunteers at the UMD Campus Pantry.
Kimberly Fleming.
Kimberly is a junior journalism major from Frederick, Maryland. This Media, Self, and Society Scholars Program student has served as multimedia editor and desk reporter for the Diamondback and co-editor for their Offbeat podcast, A Merrill Correspondent, a reporter for Stories Beneath the Shell, a volunteer for Capital News Service, and an intern for the Time for Coffee podcast. She has served in photojournalist and web production roles and is a member of Team USA for the United States Mounted Games Association.
Salma Gorab.
Salma is a senior mechanical engineering and computer science double major from North Potomac, Maryland. This Gemstone Honors Program member has served as co-founder and president of UMD's Engineering World Health Chapter, secretary of Theta Tau Engineering Fraternity, and a TA. Salma has won awards from the Society of Women Engineers, the Theta Tau National Chapter, and Engineering World Health International. She has also worked as a supervisor at Epley Recreation Center and was the co-founder of the Verse UMD platform.
Shoham Ghosh.
Shoham is a junior physiology and neurobiology major from Ellicott City, Maryland. This top 10 freshman winner serves as Health and Wellness Director for the Student Government Association, a research assistant for lead lab microbiology research, a volunteer clinic facilitator for mobile medical care, an experienced leader for alternative breaks, and a teaching assistant for the chemistry department. Shoham also is involved with Phi Delta Epsilon Medical Fraternity and is a volunteer for America Counts and the Latino Student Fund.
Isabella Gordon.
Isabella is a senior kinesiology major from Fairfax, Virginia. Isabella is the service vice president for Alpha Phi Omega, campus president for the Bandana Project, peer mentor for the kinesiology peer mentor program, and the secretary and safety officer for the UMD Club Soccer. She has been a tutor and TA for various undergraduate courses, is a member of Phi Alpha Epsilon Honor Society, and is a frontline healthcare worker as a medical assistant for Patient First.
Rebecca Gordon.
Rebecca is a senior global public health major from Rockville, Maryland. She is the co-president for the Tamid Group, a research intern for the School of Public Health, a federal fellow, and Dean's Student Advisory Council member. Rebecca has also been a group leader for Maryland Hillel Prison Program, student activist for the Hospara Fellowship at UMD, and intern for Families USA and the FDA.
Kathleen Hamilton Campos.
Kathleen is a senior astronomy and physics double major from Sykesville, Maryland. She is the undergraduate engagement officer for Women in Physics, the vice president and communications officer for the Society of Physics Students, and the president and managing officer for Equity Constellation. She is a member of Phi Theta Kappa, the Mortar Board, Alpha Lambda Delta, and Phi Eta Sigma, and Sigma Alpha Pi.
Emma Hammer.
Emma is a senior public policy major from Baltimore, Maryland. She is the vice president of Kappa Omega Alpha, undergraduate president of the Policy Student Government Association, a federal fellow, team member of UMD Club Field Hockey, council member for the Brody Student Advisory Council and the College Park Scholars Public Leadership Program. She has also been a TA for the Scholars Leadership Program, is a research assistant for the Clark School of Engineering, and was awarded the Scholars Outstanding Academic Achievement Award in December 2020.
Grant Handley.
Grant is a public policy major and dual degree bachelor's master's student from Elkton, Maryland. He is an undergraduate senator for the School of Public Policy, the external relations director for the Public Policy Student Government Association, president of the Professional Greek Council, and ambassador for the School of Public Policy. He is a member of the School of Public Policy Awards and Recognition Committee, as well as the Brody Student Advisory Council, and is a legislative staffer for the Maryland House of Delegates.
Talia Hartman.
Talia is a junior general biology major from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. She is a member of Order of Omega and a tutor for kids excelling in math and science. Talia serves as the vice president of academic excellence for Alpha Omicron Pi. This Camp Kesem volunteer coordinator also spent 2 years as an undergraduate researcher and a peer mentor for Bayer's Transgenerational Brain Initiative Lab.
Paige Hawksworth.
Paige is a senior government and politics and history double major from Lake Villa, Illinois. She has served as president of Sigma Kappa and the vice president of diversity and inclusion for the Pan-Hellenic Association. Currently, she serves as a climate action and coalition intern for Maryburg and an outreach and advocacy intern for the Office of Sustainability on campus. A member of Order of Omega and History Undergraduate Association, Paige is also the selection co-chair for the University Student Judiciary.
Ian Hidalgo.
Ian is a junior bioengineering major from Silver Spring, Maryland. He is a resident assistant in South Campus Commons and works as a bike shop supervisor and climbing wall supervisor for the UMD Adventure Program. Ian serves as the treasurer for Theta Tau, a peer education in the Integrated Life Sciences Honors College, and is a member of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers.
Atara Khan.
Atara is a senior public policy and communications double major from Silver Spring, Maryland. Atara serves as the programming chair for TERPS for Israel and as the speaker pro tempore for SGA. She is a representative to the Dean's Cabinet for the College of Arts and Humanities and a member of the resident board of the University Student Judiciary. This Dean's List member is also the Vice President of the Lambda Pi Eta Honor Society for the National Communication Association.
Dahe Kang.
Dahe is a junior physiology and neurobiology and criminology and criminal justice double major from Germantown, Maryland. Dahe is the co-president of the Asian American Student Union and vice president of the Banneker Key Community Council. She's a team leader in the Maryland Mentor Corps and won the UMD Undergraduate Student Staff Award in 2020 for her role as an office assistant in the Integrative Life Sciences College.
Sahil Kapoor.
Sahil is a junior mathematics major from Gaithersburg, Maryland. This Dean's List recipient has served as president and events chair for Pi Sigma Epsilon and co-founded the fraternity's Diversity, Equality, and Inclusion Council. He is president of the Smith Undergraduate Leadership Council, a TA in the English department, and the project assistant for Engineers Without Borders. He has served in UMD Entourage, Maryland Mensa, and is an executive board member of the Sikh Student Association. He is interning for the Office of the Inspector General through the United States Postal Inspection Service.
Marina Kistner.
Marina is a senior kinesiology major from Torrance, California. She is president of the Pre-Physical Therapy Association and has held leadership positions in Civicus, Epley Recreation Center, and the Kinesiology Student Organization. She is a member of the Alpha Lambda Delta and Phi Eta Sigma Honor Society, as well as the Phi Alpha Epsilon Honor Society. She currently interns at Pivot Physical Therapy and plans to attend University of Delaware's PT school after graduation.
Usha Kanduri.
Usha is a senior supply chain management and finance double major from Potomac, Maryland. This Justice and Legal Thought College Park Scholars member is a peer innovation coach with the Academy for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, student advocate in the Undergraduate Student Legal Aid Office, and a social innovation fellow in the business school. She has also been a community assistant, a member of the Jimenez Porter Writers House, and cyber risk intern at Deloitte.
Priscilla Lee.
Priscilla is a senior bioengineering major from Abingdon, Maryland. This Quest Scholar is a TA for the business school, president of the engineering sorority, Alpha Omega Epsilon, chair of the Women in Engineering Student Advisory Board, and ambassador for the Clark School of Engineering. She has served as president of the Flexus Women in Engineering program and was an undergraduate researcher through the FIRE program. She is in the DEI committee undergraduate representative for the official Department of Bioengineering.
Emily Leo.
Emily is a junior bioengineering major from Potomac, Maryland. This Quest Scholar is an undergraduate researcher in the BIOE-QO lab, vice president of alumni programming in the Student Alumni Leadership Council, an honors ambassador, and a tutor within the Women in Engineering Flexus department. Emily is the vice president and artistic director of ballet company M and has danced with Tianti dance team.
Hallie Lerner.
Hallie is a senior accounting and finance double major from White Plains, New York. Hallie has served as a TA and guided studies sessions leader for over 6 semesters. She is a peer mentor in the Carolyn Living and Learning community and an ambassador for letters and sciences. She has served as finance chair for Terpthon, secretary of Phi Chi Theta Business Fraternity, and deputy chief of staff for SGA.
Isabel Lim.
Isabel is a junior physiology and neurobiology major from Brookville, Maryland. This Gemstone Honors student is a member of Delta Epsilon Mu, pre-health professional fraternity, Korean Student Association, and Project Sunshine. Isabel has also served as a TA for Gemstone and Biological Sciences. She's a director in RHA and an EMT at Branchville Volunteer Fire Department.
Sean Lynn.
Sean is a senior computer science and mathematics double major from Lutherville, Timonium, Maryland. This Maryland Images tour guide has worked as a TA and a researcher within CMNS. Sean was the executive director of BitCamp and is the design organizer of Technica. He is an honors ambassador, the vice president of the Advanced Cybersecurity Experience for Students, and a volunteer actor in the School of Theater, Dance, and Performance Studies.
Jacqueline Liu.
Jacqueline is a junior physiology and neurobiology and women, gender, and sexuality studies double major from Lanham, Maryland. Jacqueline serves as co-president of the Asian American Student Union and is a member of the vice president of Student Affairs Advisory Council. This honors ambassador has conducted research on campus at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine and at the Kennedy Krieger Institute at Johns Hopkins. Jacqueline also serves as a community organizing student intern in the Multicultural Involvement and Community Advocacy Office.
Elizabeth Mafrici.
Elizabeth is a senior public policy and women, gender, and sexuality studies double major from Syracuse, New York. Elizabeth is the president of Preventing Sexual Assault and an outreach intern at Care to Stop Violence. A member of the Civicus Living Learning Program, Elizabeth has published 2 biographical sketches on Maryland suffragettes through the History Department and written policy for sexual assault prevention as an intern in the Department of Defense. Elizabeth has worked with the Godfrey Foundation and spent a summer abroad in Amazonian, Brazil.
Michael Marino.
Michael is a junior government and politics and English language and literature double major from Ocean City, Maryland. This Gemstone Honors and Federal Fellows student currently serves as the Deputy Director of Civic Engagement in SGA and the Social Chair for the Political Latinx United for Movement and Action in Society, BLUMAS. He is a TA for student-initiated courses, interned with the Undergraduate Student Legal Aid Office, and is a member of the Motor Board Honor Society and a brother of Alpha Phi Omega.
Alexandra Miller.
Alex is a senior civil and environmental engineering major from Smithsburg, Maryland. This fire peer mentor, math success tutor, and engineering honors student is actively involved in Alpha Omega Epsilon and the Alpha Lambda Delta and Phi Eta Sigma Honor Society. She is also a TA in the engineering department and a board member of the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee.
Brianna Nabet.
Bree is a junior family science major from Parkton, Maryland. This Federal Fellows student and Dean Scholar is involved in the University Senate, the National Residence Hall Honorary, College Mentors for Kids, and the Family Science Student Advisory Board. For the past 3 semesters, she has done research and prepared a curriculum for her student-initiated course focusing on foster care and adoption, law, policy, and family.
Arsima Nagesh.
Arsima is a junior hearing and speech sciences major from Silver Spring, Maryland. This university honor student, orientation advisor, and resident assistant is a member of the OMSE Academic Excellence Society and a representative on the STAMP Student Advisory Board. She is a For Maryland student ambassador and a cabinet member of the Ethiopian and Eritrean Student Association, as well as a peer mentor in the Office of Transfer and Off-Campus Student Life.
Matthew Ober.
Matthew is a junior music performance and information science double major from Silver Spring, Maryland. This fire research assistant and National Residence Hall honorary inductee currently serves as the College of Arts and Humanities representative in the Student Government Association and vice president of marketing and communications for the Residence Hall Association. Matt is a founding member of the Preze Chamber Music Ensemble and an admissions advisor for the School of Music.
Dylan Payne.
Dylan is a senior electrical engineering major from Boyd's, Maryland. This Fire Program Summer Fellow is also a member of the Quest Honors Program and is president of the Theta Tau Professional Engineering Fraternity. She is a member of the Terpathon planning team as the logistics leader, the electrical subgroup lead for Engineers Without Borders, and a peer educator for the Fire Program. She is a member of the Tau Beta Pi Honor Society and the Terrapin Leadership Institute.
Patrick Peralta.
Patrick is a senior government and politics major from South Brunswick, New Jersey. Patrick is the vice president of the Asian American Student Union and an honor council and central board member of the University Student Judiciary. He is a TA for the Department of Government and Politics and has been a legislative intern at the Maryland General Assembly. Patrick is a representative on the SGA Multicultural Leadership Council and represents the Asian American Studies program on the Dean's Student Advisory Committee.
Isabel Pula.
Isabel is a junior government and politics and economics double major with a Spanish minor from Baltimore, Maryland. She is in the Spanish cluster of the St. Mary's Language House and is the professional development chair of the Pre-Law Society Phi Alpha Delta. This Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society member is a student coordinator in the Office of New Student Orientation, a legislative intern at the Maryland General Assembly, and is a member of Model United Nations. She serves on the Professional Greek Council and has studied abroad in Barcelona.
Christine Riviera.
Christine is a senior animal sciences major from Potomac, Maryland. This university honors program and fire research student has served as the agricultural representative of the Pre-Vet Society, director of the UMD Equestrian Club, and a section leader for the Honors Colloquium. She is a French language partner through the UMD School of Languages and Cultures, a member of the UMD Classical Dance Ensemble, and a part of Catholic Terps.
Josie Schaefer.
Josie is a junior government and politics major from Pikesville, Maryland. This Adele H. Stamp Circle of Women's Award recipient is the SGA Director of Student Affairs and the chair of the Facilities Advisory Committee. She is a writer for the WMUC campus radio station, holds leadership positions in her sorority, and is the Director of Membership and Communications for Maryland Discourse. She has also served as an intern for Senator Shelley Hedelman and an editor for UMD is Blind.
Sarah Shapiro.
Sarah is a junior chemistry major from North Potomac, Maryland. Sarah is an advertising and design coordinator for the American Chemical Society and the secretary for the Pre-Pharmacy Society. This general chemistry laboratory TA is a pharmacy technician volunteer and a peer innovation coach in the Academy for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Sarah is also involved in student entertainment events as well as the Maryland Filmmakers Club.
Juliana Solomon.
Juliana is a senior neurobiology and physiology major from Potomac, Maryland. As a music performance minor, Juliana plays the clarinet and has performed in the University of Maryland Repertoire Orchestra and Wind Ensemble. This Gemstone Honors student has served on the Gemstone Leadership Council and as a guided study sessions leader for biochemistry. She is the president of the Jewish Student Union and is a member of Phi Delta Epsilon Professional Pre-Medical Fraternity.
Jeannie Spiegel.
Jeannie is a junior supply chain management and marketing double major from Bethesda, Maryland. She is the financial vice president for Gamma Phi Beta, a Smith School ambassador, treasurer, and networking gala founder for Ignite at Maryland, and Quest Honors Program sub-team lead. She has served as the vice president of fundraising for Ignite at Maryland, as well as vice president of communications for Terps for Israel.
Abigail Swoyski.
Abigail is a junior biochemistry and cell biology and molecular genetics double major from Germantown, Maryland. This Banneker Key Scholar and ODK Top 10 Freshman Award winner is an undergraduate researcher for the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, guided study sessions mentor and leader, and the CMNS representative for the University Library Student Advisory Group. She has served as the co-president and treasurer for the UMD American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology chapter and co-president and liaison for the UMD American Chemical Society chapter.
Pratik Swami Kumar.
Pratik is a bioengineering major from Clarksville, Maryland. A member of the Biomedical Engineering Society, Pratik is also an ambassador for the Clark School of Engineering. He also serves as the lead undergraduate researcher for the Tissue Engineering and Biomaterials Laboratory and as the secretary for club tennis. Pratik has served as a tutor for the Engineering Keystone Center and in the Alpha Eta Mu Beta Bioengineering Honors Society.
Rena Turchinsky.
Rena is a junior information sciences and journalism double major from Silver Spring, Maryland. She was a member of the Language House on campus and serves as the executive coordinator for Scholars in Action. Rena serves as a news editor and a senior staff writer for the Diamondback. This recipient of the College Park Scholars Academic Achievement Award is the public relations manager for Bezuminet, a Jewish women's a cappella group on campus.
Alethea Vo.
Alethea is a junior neurobiology and physiology and Spanish double major from Rockville, Maryland. She is president of the Taiwanese American Student Association, vice president of internal affairs for the Asian American Student Union, and a member of Alpha Phi Omega Service fraternity. This integrated life sciences student is a researcher in the lab of Dr. Joshua Singer, a TA for the Biological Sciences Department, and a previous ODK Top 10 freshman.
Jennifer Wang.
Jennifer is a junior finance and philosophy double major from Germantown, Maryland. She is a presiding officer in the University Student Judiciary, a member of the Dean's Diversity and Equity Council in the Smith School, and a TA for business finance. She has been a member of the Design, Cultures, and Creativity Honors Program, is a member of the Standing Review Committee of the Office of Civil Rights and Sexual Misconduct, and is a member of the Maryland Consulting Group.
Gabriella Winter.
Gabriella is a junior supply chain management and marketing double major from Ashton, Maryland. This College Park Scholars Outstanding Citizenship Award recipient is a TA, and TA is the student representative on the Alumni Association's Board of Governors and a member of the Order of Omega Honor Society. She serves as president of the Student Alumni Leadership Council and the vice president of finance for Alpha Omicron Pi.
Noam Yani.
Noam is a sophomore physiology and neurobiology and psychology double major from North Bethesda, Maryland. This resident assistant for Maryland ambassador and CMNS recruitment ambassador is involved in the UMD Help Center, Phi Delta Epsilon Pre-Medical Society, UMD Club Running, and the College Park Scholars Life Sciences Program. She serves on the Vice President for Student Affairs Student Advisory Council, is the Vice President of the Jewish Student Union, and the President of J Health.
Daisy Yu.
Daisy is a junior chemistry and communication double major from North Potomac, Maryland. She is president of the Honors Student Programming Council, education and outreach officer for the university's student judiciary, and representative on the RHU Dean's Advisory Board, as well as RHU Terrapin Strong Committee. This Dean's List scholar interns with the Joint Institute for Food Safety and Nutrition and also serves as the operations director for UMD's chapter of Universities Allied for Essential Medicine.
Ann Zappis.
Anne is a senior information systems and management double major from Baltimore, Maryland. This Smith School Center for Health Information and Decision Systems intern and peer innovation coach through the UMD Academy for Innovation and Entrepreneurship serves as Smith Maryland Consulting Group's operational leader. This gemstone student also interns with the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine and has been a member of Smith's Women in Business Association, UMD Greek Heritage Society, and UMD Vintage Voices.
Tiffany Zhang.
Tiffany is a junior general biology major from Cambridge, Maryland. She's a peer mentor with FIRE in the Transgenerational Brain Initiative, the secretary of Project Sunshine, and secretary of the Delta Epsilon Mu professional fraternity. She is an orientation advisor and team leader in the Office of New Student Orientation and is a resident assistant. This Dean's List student is also a student ambassador on the Student Alumni Leadership Council and a member of the Campus Programming and DEI Joint Committee. Congratulations to all of our undergraduate inductees.
We will now introduce our graduate inductees.
Carlos Melendez Jr.
Carlos is a master's graduate student in the Clinical Psychological Sciences program from Silver Spring, Maryland. Carlos is a research assistant with the UMD ADHD program, alternative breaks experience leader for the Dominican Republic, and served as the selection committee head for Maryland Images campus tour guides. He was a resident assistant and a member of the Psychology Research Empowerment Program.
Madeline Miller.
Madeline is a master's graduate student in the public policy program from Fallston, Maryland. This Women's Club crew team member is a fellow and budget analyst for the Maryland General Assembly. She's involved in Kappa Omega Alpha Public Policy Professional Fraternity, the Diamondback, and Pi Sigma Alpha Political Science Honor Society. She has worked within dining services in the campus pantry and the Menus of Change Collaborative.
Annie Rappaport.
Annie is a doctoral graduate student in the International Education and Policy Program from Charlottesville, Virginia. This Wiley Fellow and Graduate Student Distinguished Service Awardee is president of the University System of Maryland Student Council and a graduate student representative on the UMD Presidential Search Committee. She has served as a TA for College Park Scholars, a transfer student mentor, and a founding member of the IEP Student Board. She was the GSG representative on the UMD Board of Trustees and Board of Governors and served on the Vice President for Student Affairs Student Advisory Council.
Omar Tarabishi.
Omar is a master's graduate student in the International Education Policy Program from Laurel, Maryland. This international orientation leader was an Arabic flagship student who studied abroad in Egypt and worked as the academic advisor, Summer Institute coordinator, and Project Go coordinator for Arabic and Persian programs at the University of Maryland. Omar was a resident assistant, co-chair for RHA, an Arabic language assistant, National Residence Hall honorary member, and Muslim Student Association member. Congratulations to our graduate inductees.
We will now introduce our faculty, staff, and honorary inductees.
Devinder Anand.
Dr. Devinder Anand is a professor emeritus and the director of the Center for Engineering Concepts Development. Dr. Anand formed the Neelam Foundation in 2013 in honor of his late son. He donated $1 million for the foundation to award scholarships and recognition in support of students. Dr. Anand helped create a series of engineering social change courses inspiring generations of STEM students. As the chairman of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Dr. Anand has always been committed to developing students at UMD.
Nina Harris.
Dr. Nina Harris is the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies in the University of Maryland School of Public Policy. Within the School of Public Policy, she provides direction to all current and developing undergraduate and graduate initiatives and manages the SPP's undergraduate course offerings in leadership and public policy. Dr. Harris has developed and taught a graduate course called Ethical Dimensions of Public Leadership. She has been the advisor for the Black students in the Public Policy Student Group, the leader of the SPP Dean's Student Advisory Council, and member of the SPP's Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging Task Force that has formed to incorporate equitable, diverse, and inclusive practices within the SPP. She was instrumental launching the Gender and Racial Justice Focus Area in response to student feedback. In May 2018, she was awarded the School of Public Policy's Dean Award for her outstanding service and commitment to the School of Public Policy academic community.
Jennifer Littlefield.
Dr. Jennifer Littlefield is the Director of Undergraduate Studies in the School of Public Policy. Before this position, she served as the head of College Park Scholars Public Leadership Program from 2007 to 2017, and the Associate Director of the Do Good Institute. Dr. Littlefield has been heavily involved in civic engagement and service learning initiatives at UMD. Dr. Littlefield has taught courses in the areas of public policy, ethics, leadership, philanthropy, and career development. She is teaching Terps to serve and lead. In May 2018, Dr. Littlefield was awarded the Champion of Student Success Award by the School of Public Policy in recognition for her work in providing exceptional assistance, guidance, and inspiration to students. She has conducted extensive research in the area of cross-sector collaboration and effective grant making, and has authored numerous articles and presented in various conferences on cross-sector collaboration and grant making.
John McCauley.
Dr. John McCauley is an assistant professor of government and politics, a research associate at the Center for International Development and Conflict Management, and a research affiliate at START. When he is not teaching or completing in the field research on African politics, religious and ethnic politics, or informal institutions, he serves as the director of the Government and Politics Honors Program, where he mentors students through their honors courses and the thesis process, and the leader of the Government and Politics Undergraduate Teaching Assistant Program, advocating for undergraduate students to gain valuable teaching experience. Dr. McCauley has earned the Provost's Innovation in Teaching Award and the Excellence in Teaching Award from the College of Behavioral and Social Sciences.
Andrea Crabb.
Andrea Crabb has served the University of Maryland since 2013, currently serving as the Director of Residential Facilities after 5 years as a mechanical engineer. Andy's leadership in the Department of Residential Facilities has combined a student-first focus with her technical expertise and the ability to develop pragmatic solutions. She is not only engaged with the staff in her department, but also with students as she serves as an advisor to the RHA Residential Facilities Advisory Board and meets bi-weekly with student leaders to remain in open conversation about DRF's operations. As director, Andy has remained committed to transparency, getting to know students personally, and finding ways to be in community with the population she serves.
Margaret Hall.
Margaret Hall currently serves as the Chief Creative Officer for Creative Strategies in the Office of Strategic Communications. She is a Terp through and through. Margaret graduated from the Advertising Design program and has worked at Maryland since 1985. She is responsible for the oversight of all of the prominent graphics for the university and is considered the creative helm for high-end publications and creative strategies. Her creative unit has garnered multiple awards from regional and national organizations. Her work promotes and positively markets the reputation of the University of Maryland to even greater heights.
Melina Heng.
Melina Hang is an Associate Director in the Office of Student Financial Aid and a UMD alumni. Melina is one of the most tireless advocates on behalf of vulnerable students on our campus. In her work, Melina identifies pathways of critical financial support when students are blocked from receiving aid. She has worked closely with the Immigrant and Undocumented Student Life Program, the Fostering TERP Success Program, and many others to ensure that students with the most needs are advocated for.
Jamie Pointer.
Jamie is a program coordinator for the Office of Student Conduct and has served in advisory roles in Psi Alpha Lambda Delta Honor Society and Terpthon. Within the Division of Student Affairs, Jamie has received the 2020 Student Affairs Outstanding Service Award. Jamie has impacted many students and faculty through her efforts to spread experience and expertise within the Maryland College Personnel Association. She shows her great character and humility in her day-to-day demeanor and showcases diligence through her responsibilities within the Office of Student Conduct. She works hard every day to prioritize her students' mental and physical health and is a passionate advocate for mental health for her community.
Allison Jaden.
Allison Jaden is the Assistant Director for New Initiatives with Dining Services and received her Master's in Public Health from UMD in 2012. She has spearheaded programs that have made a significant difference in the lives of UMD students, particularly around food insecurity. Under Allison's leadership, the campus pantry has grown from a kiosk in Cole Fieldhouse in 2014 to a capital campaign for a new 16,000 square foot space. The pantry served nearly 3,000 clients and on over 8,500 visits in working to meet the needs of 20% of UMD students who are food insecure. She assisted in the development of Turp Farm and the farmers market on campus.
Leah Tobin.
Dr. Leah Tobin is the Assistant Director for Student Engagement in the Gemstone Honors Program at UMD and has held this position for the past 9 years. Dr. Tobin coordinates the organization and curricular design for 2 first-year Gemstone courses as well as its TAs. She coordinates alumni engagement initiatives such as the Alumni Mentor Partner Program and co-advises the Gemstone Leadership Council, where she spearheads many student engagement initiatives. During her time at Maryland, she received her Doctor of Philosophy in Student Affairs in 2020. She continues to provide engagement opportunities to all honor students in the Honors College amidst the pandemic. Congratulations to all of our faculty and staff inductees.
I'm honored to introduce our last inductee and guest speaker for this event. Jeff Kinney is a University of Maryland class of 1993 alumni and author of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. As a college student, Jeff was involved in Gymkhana and the Diamondback. During this time, he ran a comic strip called Igdoof, which later transformed into the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. In 2006, Jeff signed a multi-book deal to turn his comic into a print series. There are now more than 200 million copies of the series in print worldwide. The series has remained on the New York Times bestseller list for over 500 weeks. His books are currently available in 76 editions in 64 languages. Aside from his literary contributions, Jeff is also the creator of Pop Tropica, an extremely popular game that was named one of Time's 50 best websites. Jeff's work inspires children to learn. He is involved in philanthropic work related to children's literacy and has made a significant impact in the world. Now, without fear of getting the cheese touch, I pass the floor to Jeff. Welcome.
Wow, thank you so much. That was a great introduction. First of all, I want to say congratulations to everyone on your induction into ODK. Truthfully, I felt overwhelmed hearing about your collective accomplishments. My son, Will, has just decided today to commit to the University of Maryland, and truly my greatest hope is that he can live up to the standard you've set. Second, I wanted to say thanks to Dan Albert for nominating me as an honorary member. It's the only way I could have gotten into a society like this. And if you saw my grades while I was at Maryland, you would see why. When Dan asked me to share my thoughts on leadership, I did what any high schooler about to give a big speech would do. I did a Google search on leadership quotes. Some of them were pretty good. And in fact, I was kind of tempted to just read you a bunch of leadership quotes, but that would be cheating. One of the quotes that caught my eye was the one that said, "Leaders are made, not born." And truthfully, I'm not sure if that's strictly true. I've met a handful of natural leaders in my life. And the first one I ever met was a kid named Drew Weaver. He lived in a neighborhood where I grew up, and he always had some audacious scheme going. Some of the things I can remember Drew doing in like 4th and 5th grade was turning his back porch into a fine dining restaurant where he and his friends served as waiters, and he hired his mother as a chef. He created a fun fair in his front yard with carnival games. And he made a ton of money. When skateboarding became popular, he built a half pipe in his backyard. And whatever idea Drew dreamed up, he was always able to convince a pack of neighborhood kids to do his bidding. I was kind of fascinated by Drew and his schemes back then. So I tried coming up with schemes of my own and getting kids to do my bidding, but my ideas never got any traction. Whenever I'd stand up on a pedestal and try to get people to do what I wanted, they'd just slowly disperse. After middle school, I lost contact with Drew, and I went to the University of Maryland after transferring from Villanova. He went someplace else, but we had lost touch. And in my sophomore year, I joined the Diamondback. I made a group of friends, but whenever I tried to get a group of them to join me to go to, say, the 7-Eleven that was 1 block away, everyone would disperse just like they did back in my elementary school days. Later on that year, I was out with a few of the editors, and one of them started talking about a new reporter. He was this guy named Drew, and there was something about him. And I asked, "Is it Drew Weaver?" And she said, "Yeah, how did you know?" Now, Maryland's a school of 30,000 students, so it's kind of crazy, you know, that it turns out to be Drew Weaver. It turns out Drew had transferred to Maryland too. And within 6 months, he was the editor-in-chief of the Diamondback, which was no surprise to me. And by the way, on one of Drew's first nights in charge, he got everyone on the staff to go down to Washington, D.C. with him at 2 in the morning on a Monday. So I resigned myself to the fact that I didn't have the right stuff to be a leader. And for a really long time, I wasn't one. Part of that was because I hadn't figured out what kind of dog I was yet. And that requires a bit of explanation. So we have a Portuguese water dog named Thunder. Most of the time he's sitting around the house. He's pretty miserable. He sleeps and waits for his next meal. But in the summertime, if we throw a ball in the pool, he goes crazy diving in and bringing it back to us. So a Portuguese water dog is a working dog. They're bred to do a certain task. And Portuguese water dogs were bred to swim between fishing ships carrying messages to the captains. And you can see that when Thunder is doing what he was born to do, he's fulfilled. And I actually believe it's that way for people too. I think you have to figure out what kind of dog you are. What is it that you were born to do? And if you're unhappy in your job, chances are you haven't found it out yet. You haven't made that discovery. And it was that way for me for the first 20 years of my career, 10 years of my career at least. I went from job to job. I never really felt fulfilled. And the job I spent the longest amount of time in was as a medical software engineer. Pay was good, but I felt like a square peg in a round hole. And the job brought out the worst of me. I spent my days surfing the web and only snapping into action really when deadlines approached. And I made a lot of good friends and worked with a lot of good people, but I really felt like in that job I was wasting away. And I remember being at a dinner party at about that time where I met a woman who would one day become my wife actually, but she talked passionately about her job. I was really taken aback because as a 20-something, as a late 20-something, it was the first time I'd met somebody who was unabashedly positive about their job. And really that was the spark for me. I realized I was in the wrong field. I took the leap. I got into game development where I had then a 20-year career as a designer and a programmer. And if you grew up playing Pop Tropica, then you're familiar with my work. So in the same year that Pop Tropica launched, I got my rock star dream of becoming a cartoonist with the publication of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And a few years later is when my life really pivoted again. I moved to a small town in Massachusetts called Plainville. And when my wife and I moved here, there was a rotting general store in the center of town, built in 1856. And we bought it and we tore it down and built a 3-story bookstore. For the first time ever, I started to learn to become a leader. And leading our team of 25 booksellers is one of the greatest joys of my life. Our bookstore exists really to provide a platform for diverse authors, and our whole team is united in that mission. We're trying to change our community from the inside out. So in my case, I was never a natural leader. I really had to work at it. I had to take all the lessons I learned along the way and apply them. There's a great biography I read by Steve Martin. It's called Born Standing Up, and it's about his early stand-up career. And as he enters his stand-up career, a mentor says, "You'll use everything you've ever learned." And that's definitely been the way it's been with me. I've had to use everything I've learned along the way to step confidently into a leadership role. Sadly, we can't all be Drew Weaver, but once you reach a certain age, you look around and say, wait a second, I think I'm a grown-up. You know, maybe I could be in charge. Of course, this group of inductees is miles ahead of where I was at the same age. It took me a long time to figure out what kind of dog I was. And I hope you'll step into a leadership role much earlier than I did. And obviously, so many of you already have. It's easy to see that these days we've got a crisis of leadership. And every generation seems to turn to young people to clean up their messes. Yes, that is precisely what we're asking of you. Your generation is more politically and socially engaged than mine ever was. You put a premium on decency, empathy, and equality. So we're asking you to see the world the way you want it to be and step up and take charge. So thank you for listening, and congratulations again on your induction into ODK.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for those words of wisdom for our inductees today. My name is Brooke Supple, and I'm the circle coordinator for the Sigma Circle of ODK, and I have two daughters who are huge fans of Diary of Wimpy Kid. I think you've inspired one of them to even want to be an author when she grows up. By the time you bring your student to campus next fall, your name will be engraved on the fountain with everyone else's name who's on this call. So you'll have to make sure to stop by and see that when you are on campus.
That's so cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Please join me in congratulating all of our terrific inductees this afternoon. Just to give you a glimpse of their impressive accomplishments, I'd like to share a few statistics about the spring 2021 ODK inductees. We had 263 undergraduate applicants and accepted just 58. 29 of you have double majors, and your average GPA is 3.821. 4 of you have a 4.0 GPA. There are 15 honor students, 8 College Park Scholar students, 5 Gemstone students, and 5 students in the Quest program. 4 of you are in the Civicus program, 4 are Banneker Key Scholars, 5 are Presidential Scholars, 13 are Premanum Honor Society members, and 6 are OMSI Award recipients. There are 28 teaching assistants and 24 research assistants. 6 of you are founders or co-founders of new organizations. 31 are organization presidents, and 23 are organization vice presidents. 43 of you are coordinators, directors, chairs, squad leaders, or producers. There's 1 Maryland Imager, 9 members of Greek organizations, 9 alternative break participants, 7 RAs, 2 band or orchestra members, 25 members of club sports and intramurals, and 30 service volunteers. Let's congratulate them one more time. I'm very pleased that all of you were able to come today to join us in this celebration. I'd like to thank our officers for presiding over the induction ceremony, all the current members for coming today to support our new members in their induction, and all the faculty, staff, and alumni who have joined us also, especially Mr. Jeff Kinney. Following our benediction, we will have a short surprise presentation to share with each of you.
Thank you for opening our eyes to righteousness, love, and truth, and for blessing us with courage and enthusiasm, high impulse, and lofty thought. In this, our great hour of dedication, and especially now in this current time of our greatest need, help us as we go out into the world to keep fresh in our lives the ideals which we have affirmed here today.
Before we say goodbye, we have a small surprise for our newly inducted members. You are all here with us because you are exceptional leaders who have made a difference at Maryland, but you could not have gotten here without a little help from some important people in your lives. And those people wanted to say congratulations.
we fought till I would give in. Perfect disasters. We were reaching for the rafters. Hey, hey. And on most of the days we were searching for ways to get up and get out of the town we were raised, yeah, cause we were done. I remember we were sleeping in cars, we were searching for ours, we were burning cigars with the white plastic tips till we saw the sun. We said crazy things like, I refuse to look back thinking days were better just because of younger days. I don't know what's round the corner, way I feel right now, I swear will never change. Back when we were kids, swore we will never die. You and me were kids, swore that we'll never die. Lights down, and we're driving just to get out. Perfect disasters. Yeah, we were swinging from the rafters. Hey, hey, hey. We were dancing in cars, we were looking for eyes, we were naming the stars after people we knew till we had to go. And we were saying things like, I refuse to look back thinking days were better just because of younger days. I don't know what's round the corner, way I feel right now, I swear will never change. Back when we were kids, swore we will never die. You and me were kids, swore that we'll never die. Nights when we kept dancing, changing all our plans, making every day a holiday. Feel the years start burning, city lights they're turning, but something about this feels the same. Back when we were kids, swore we would never die. You and me were kids, out how to jump the wall. I wanna live and learn. Don't matter if I land or if I fall. I know on my return, at least I know I'll be walking tall. I'm not afraid, 'cause I take the world by storm. I take the world by storm.
This concludes our ceremony today. I want to extend another congratulations to our newly inducted members. And thank you all so much to our families and friends for joining in this ceremony. And we hope you have a great rest of your day.